I got plastered in the train room. Let's see how that happened. Hi, I'm Tom Kovichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. I'm going to show you how I did some plaster of Paris in the train room and what I had to go through to get there. Well, it's time to dig out the plaster of Paris. I have it in totes. And as you can see, I have a lot of rock molds in there. In fact, I have some new ones that I got at Hobby Lobby for $4.31. Another one for $4.31 that I still have on the cardboard. Some of these are 30 years old that I used in the 80s when I started my layout back then. This is one of the old ones, that's one of the old ones, that's one of the old ones. Okay, here's the duplicate. This one's used and this one's brand new. Needless to say, I got a bunch of rock molds here. But here's all my plaster of Paris, my hydrocal, some ballast, and some other stuff. Use vinegar in your plaster of Paris and it takes longer to set. It gives you more time to work with it. So I always put just a little bit, a few drops of vinegar in there. Here's something else that I got from Hobby Lobby on sale. This was $7.19. I got two of these carving plaster. I've never used this before, but I saw it on the clearance aisle, so I thought I'd get it. I'll have to use this at some time. But here's what we're going to need here. We got the plaster of Paris and we got this nice little container right here, rubbery thing. It works really good for mixing your plaster of Paris. Mixing cups here, and of course your little spatulas for mixing it up. Now I have some little artist knives here someplace, but it must be in another tote. But I also use that for spreading it out on top of the plaster cloth. So plaster of Paris, this is a really good item here. It gets a little stained inside, but that's all right as long as you clean this thing out after use. Don't let the plaster sit in there, and it's nice and flexible, so even if it does get a little bit hard, it will come loose very easily. I have everything ready to work with the plaster of Paris. I got all my tiles down on the areas that I don't want to get any plaster of Paris on, like on the tracks, on the water feature down there. I have some paper towels ready, and I normally put painter's tape over top of the track, but since it's a narrow area down there, I'm going to take the paper towel. It's, you know, the half sheets. I'm going to fold that in half and lay it down, and then you can see the spray bottle of hairspray there. Whenever I'm finished with the hairspray, you know, I use it a lot on my head. I fill it up with either water or alcohol. It's Suave Max Hold, and it's not an aerosol. It's a pump bottle, so you get a really good mist out of it. So when you're doing the ballast and everything like that, when you're spraying it, you don't get the bubble, you know, big bubbles going down, big drops going down and messing up your thing. So this is what I use for that with alcohol. And then this, right now I have this one filled with water. I didn't mark water on it, but I just marked empty on it when it was finished. But what I'll do is I'll wet down those paper towels so they won't move around, and that way it'll be easier to work on the surrounding area on the sides of the mountains and not get anything on the track or the ties. I have all my tools here. I have an assortment of tools. Usually I only use like one or two things, but different knives, different shapes of knives, and even an X-Acto blade if I want to carve something. Now this is the really cheap handle, you know, that comes in different colors, and it's a hard plastic. But you don't have to have a really good blade in it. All you're doing is you're just scraping the plaster of Paris. And the way that I use it, I have a longer setting time because I put a few drops of vinegar in the water before I put the plaster of Paris in it, and that takes it longer to set up. And so that gives you more time to work with it than the normal 20 minutes, but I never seen it last 20, it says 20 minutes on there, but I never seen it last that long. But it does last a lot longer with the vinegar, and you could get it a lot smoother. I used it on large areas where I needed to have it really smooth. I used the wide 6-inch putty knife for that. Well, now that I dug all that stuff out of the tote, we have a couple of more projects to do. So one of them is going to be showing you how to do rock molds, because I got a lot of rock molds. I think I counted 11 there. And I'm going to find out how to use that carving plaster that I bought. I bought 2 of those cartons of it, so we'll find out how to use it, and I'll show you how to do that. So that's 2 more videos coming out on that kind of stuff. Wow! I'm finding a lot of stuff to do here. Now I got to clean the hard stuff off of here. It's not that hard yet, but I got to clean this up and do it. Mix another batch, but that's not too bad. That's not bad for 2 small batches. I just got to get a little bit up on top and over here. Come around this side and do all around in here, and then get this side and up on there. And that's all I got left to do. What I'm going to do next is do a smaller batch and make it a little bit thin like that first one I did. I'm going to add a little bit more vinegar to it, because I got in tighter spots right here, and I need more control of the plaster of Paris, so I'm going to do it in a small batch. And then I even have a smaller spatula, this one right here. I think they even make one smaller than this, but I got to do down here next to the tunnel portal, and I have to get it right up to the tunnel portal, so I have to be real careful on that. When it gets real hard and stuff, it's harder to control where you want it, but when it's real soft, you could let it flow down into certain areas. So that's what's coming up next, but I'm not going to do that on the camera because I got to work from right here. Here's the other side that I did. I did it a couple of hours ago, and you can see it's still a little bit discolored. Once it dries, it lightens up a little bit. But I got it all the way up to the tunnel portal, and I used the painter's tape on this side, and I finished off some of the stuff over here also. So all I have left to do is this up on top, and then once I put the board back in here, then I'll trim off the top of that over there, and then I could work on another project. Oh, here we go. Here's another project right over there. Okay, so that is it. Well, the more videos that I do on crossing Rock Creek, the more I find that I could do in addition to these. So we have a couple of more videos coming out. I got 2 more projects that I know that I told you about before. But then I got model railroading for beginners to show how to do all of that right there. Of what I did step by step, going through the process of putting out the cardboard and everything. And the, let me think about it, plaster cloth and the Plaster of Paris on top of it. And then after that, another model railroading for beginners on doing the scenery on top of that, putting on all the dirt and the grass and the weeds and the bushes and everything else like that. So keep your eye out for that. It's coming up shortly. So until the next time, we'll see ya.